I am Laura Diehl, author, speaker, podcaster, but most importantly, bereaved parent. And I like to use these videos to answer emails that have come into me with struggles that other bereaved parents are having. And the email I would like to answer today says, I am torn between being here for my surviving children and my husband and ending it all to stop the pain. I want to be in heaven with my daughter. And I felt exactly the same way. I lost my daughter, our oldest daughter, Becca, from this earth. It was 8.5 years ago now. And I remember being in that exact same place. It didn't make sense to me in my head because I have 4 other children. At the time, I had 2 grandchildren. One of them was my daughter's daughter, who had just turned 9, my granddaughter, and then one other granddaughter. I have a loving husband who cares deeply for me and our family. At the time, I had an international children's ministry that I loved, but I didn't care about any of that. All I wanted was to be gone, to be out of here. I wanted to go be with my daughter, who was now in heaven. Like I said, it didn't make any sense at all in my head, but my heart just didn't want to be here anymore. And I think it was, when I look back at it, I think it's because, for one thing, I couldn't imagine being in this much pain for the rest of my life. I did not know, how do you live? How do I live without Becca being here? I didn't know how to do it, and I didn't know how this pain was ever going to stop. And it's not that I didn't love my family. It didn't make sense to me even, but I just didn't want to be here anymore. And it wasn't that I was suicidal, but if I begged God to take me. I begged God to just take me so I didn't have to live out the rest of my life without one of my children here. And so it's interesting, God showed my husband something that I want to share with you. When Jesus shares about the parable of the shepherd who will leave the 99 sheep and go find the one. And I think that's how we feel. The one is missing. The others are safe. We're thinking of it backwards, really, because if our child is in heaven with the Lord, there's no safer place for them to be. They're not going through the stuff that we're going through right now here on this world. They're not going through hardship. They're not going through quarantine. They're not going through sickness. They're not going through fear and anxiety and depression and all the stuff that we're still dealing with here on this earth. But we kind of feel backwards about that. It's like I have to go find the one. One is missing. And it's okay. It's okay to feel that way. And I just want to encourage you, you're not going to always feel that way. Just keep giving it to the Lord and asking Him to give you eyes to see reasons to stay. You will be with your child someday, and it'll happen so much sooner than we think, I believe. It's just going to be like, once we get there, it's going to look like, bam, that was fast. It may feel like forever for us here, but I think once we get there, that eternity timeline is just going to seem like the blink of an eye, and we're going to be with them again. And when we're with them again, it's going to be forever, and we're not going to be separated. So that's something to look forward to, definitely, for sure. So all of this just to say that feeling that way is so normal. It is so normal. And I encourage you, we hear this, and I don't want to come across as this will fix it or everybody says this, but I want to share this with you because I did it and it worked for me, and I know so many other bereaved parents that it's worked for too. And it's to start a thankfulness journal. Get a journal, put it by your bed. Every night before you go to sleep, force yourself to start writing down 3 to 5 things at the most. 3 to 5 things that you can be thankful for that day. It may be something as simple as, my husband baked cookies and they smelled so good. I actually smelled cookies baking. It could be, I saw a hummingbird today and it made me smile, at least on the inside. Anything that you can have the smallest bit of thankfulness for. I thank you that I do have this gift of whatever. I thank you that I do still have my other children. I thank you, just 3 to 5 things, and begin to write a thankfulness journey, because that will help your perspective begin to change so that it's not quite so difficult where you don't want to be here anymore. For me, I know the Bible talks about Caleb having 80, he was 80 years old when he went after that mountain in the promised land. Give me my mountain, give me my land. There's a scripture that talks about the gift and the blessing of living to 120. And I always told the Lord, I want that blessing. I want to live to 120. And when my daughter Becca died, it was like, forget that. There is no way I am staying on this earth that long. I don't want Caleb's 80. Get me out of here now. And it has taken me several years to get to the point where it's like, you know what, God, I kind of want to hang around here now. I now have 6 grandchildren. The Lord has blessed us with a ministry to give support and resources to other bereaved parents who are hurting and in that place of darkness. And I have actually gotten to the point where life is worth living again. I have a life of meaning and purpose again. And it's not in spite of my child's death. It's because of her life. And I want to live in a way that honors her life, that helps people to remember her and know her, that she lived and that her life was important and mattered. So just continue to take it one day at a time, one breath at a time, if that's where you are, and just hang in there. Just keep going. And stay connected with us at gpshope.org. We do, like I said, we have support and resources for you, and it's so helpful to be connected with other parents who have been right where you are, who can be your hope and be your light for you until you have your own.